a site always considered as one of the oldest cities because we found in this area the foundation of a village built since 8,000 years. And we call that period the Neolithic Age. So since the Neolithic Age until the beginning of the 20th century, in our small area of Byblos of 6 acres, we was invaded by 19 civilizations. For 4 reasons. One, the name of the city, it was Gubel, and Gubel meaning the little mountain. And when you live on a little mountain, the meaning is you are in security, because you can see the enemy. 2, we have too many wells of fresh water. 3, a Phoenician natural harbor for trading and fishing. And 4, as you know, Lebanon, it's a mountain, and it was covered at 80% by cedar trees. And the ancient people needs the wood of cedars to make ships, to make windows, to make doors, to make everything. But for the Egyptians, and especially for the pharaohs, it was very important because they arrived to have from these woods a resin for the mummification. So in Byblos we have had the Neolithics, Canaanians, Phoenicians, Egyptians, Akkadians, Sumerians, Hyksos, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Fatimids, Crusaders.
Wow.
I stop here. Because we are on the front of a castle built by the Crusaders on the beginning of the 12th century. And it was on the year 1104. When the soldiers arrived here, they destroyed 3 monuments, they took the stones and they built the fortress. So the white stones you see everywhere, it's from a Roman temple. The other stones, we call that sandstone. As you see, it's very crumbled. It's from the Persian palace. Now, to consolidate this kind of stones, what they done, please come and see. They took columns of granite like this, and they cut each column in 2 or 3 pieces, and they put it on the wall, as you see here, is to consolidate it. So 1104, it was the construction of the fortress with a drawbridge. And when we say drawbridge, automatically we should think about a moat around it, and it was considered as the first fortress of defense in Lebanon. Now, 1187, 83 years after, a battle happened between the Prince Saladin against the Crusades, and the winner was Saladin. So he took all the castles in Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. 6 years after he died, the Crusaders took again the castles, and they stayed until 1293. In 1293 was invaded by the Mamelukes, who came from Egypt. They stayed until 1516. In 1516, the Turks arrived, the Ottoman Empire, and they stayed 400 years. Until 1918, it was the end of the First War. In 1918, the French arrived until 1943. In 1943, it was the independence of Lebanon. And from 1943 until now, I prefer to shut my mouth. Let's go upstairs and have a look of the site. It will be more interesting to talk history. You are from which country?
England.
England. Originally. Very beautiful. Yes. Okay. Please. From here you can see the remains of the Phoenician town. Remains of houses built since 5,000 years. And to be in security at the time, the Phoenicians built this wall. Ladies and gentlemen, between the wall and the city, we can't see it, but we had a small path. If we walk on it, we will arrive to the Phoenician garden. This is the only site in all Lebanon. It has 6 names.
6 names.
The Egyptians called it Kupna and sometimes Kibni. And the meaning is the mountains of cedars. And I explain why for the mummification. You remember? 3 Gubel, the little mountain, became Jbeil or Jbeil, the actual name. Now you are in Jbeil. And the meaning of Jbeil is Jib-Il, the holy well of God Il. And Il, he is the God of gods who created the city. It's a Phoenician mythology. When the Greeks arrived here, they found all the citizens knew how to read and how to write. And they call it Byblos, the city of book. From here you have Bible, Biblia, Bibliotheca, etc. And when the Italians arrived at the Crusades, it was the family Ambriaci. They came from Geneva, helping the Prince of Toulouse, Raymond de Saint-Gilles. They had the choice between Gubel and Jbeil, and they said, we have to call it Gibeletto. And Etto meaning small. So the meaning is the small town of Jbeil. So we have Kupna, Kipni, Gubel, Jbeil, Byblos, Gibeletto. 6 names for 6 acres. I think it's enough for name by acre during 6,000 years. Okay, let's go up to have a look of the site, please.
Sorry.
أجمل لغاية ما هوسوها موجودة.
لا لا this is the original one. The other one is another car. The accused they put it there. This is the original one.
Okay. Please. It's too hot, please. Let's do it.
Quickly, yeah.
Okay, you see on the front of us, we can see so much steps over there.
Yes.
Here it was the entrance of the Phoenician town. If you go to the right and at the end of the site,
Yeah.
you see like a cemetery.
Yes.
It's not a cemetery.
Okay.
This is the temple of obelisks, or the temple of Rashaf, the god of war at the Phoenician time. There is no roof for this temple, no ceiling. Why? Because each obelisk represents the sun. So the sun must be inside to purify it. And on this temple they found about 1,500 figurines, small statues representing the Phoenicians. The small in size is about 3 centimeters in height, and the biggest one is 38 centimeters. It's in bronze, painted in gold, and it was a gift from the people to the god to be safe, to be protected. You can see the statues in Beirut on the National Museum. The second temple is here, and we call it the temple of Ba'alat Gubal. Ba'alat Gubal meaning the lady of Gubal, the lady of Byblos. This is the meaning, 5,000 years old. And between the two temples here, you see this high wall over there? Here we found the principal well of Byblos. When you have well, you have fresh water. So we have had 19 civilizations. And from this point of water until this house over there, and around the house, on 1924, 1925, during the excavations, the archaeologists found more than 2,000 funeral jars. And on each jar, please look, they found a skeleton for a human being sitting like the child on the womb, like this.
Oh wow.
I am talking about 8,000 years. At this time, nobody knew how to read or how to write, but everybody observed the nature. And they saw that each oval form, like the egg or a pregnant woman, that's meaning giving life. So when somebody died, they put him in a big jar, oval jar, in fetus position, maybe to be reborn. You can see the jars also in Beirut, and we still have one jar of a baby of 5 years. We are going to see it here. And here I will talk about the Phoenician alphabet. Please. This is the statues I told you about it. Ex voto, we call that ex voto. You see, it's in bronze, painted in gold. And here, look, we have baboons, hippopotamus. In Lebanon, it's never existed. But the meaning is the Phoenicians traveled everywhere. Come and see the only jar we still have here. It's called the Emilio Party. 7,500 years old. Look at the skull of the baby inside.
What is that?
Funeral jar.
Let's go inside.
And in this photo, please come and see. We have also the legs, the skull. Look, fetus position. You see? A jar for a man, a big man. A jar for a boy also. But the masterpiece of which you are very proud is here. This is a sarcophagus of Abraham, our king of Byblos who lived on the 13th century BC. As you see, we have lions, symbol of power. The king is sitting on his throne, taking on his hand a wilted flower of lotus. This is symbol of death. And on the top we have an inscription. It says, أرم زه فعال إتوبال مال جبل لأبه أخيرون مال جبل كشتوبالي.
What does that mean?
It's in Phoenician. And the meaning is me Itubal, the son of the king. I made this tomb for my father like a house for his eternity.
Okay.
And it's continuing after to say that if somebody will come by force to open the coffin and to steal the gold, he will be killed by the god, etc. No, it's a curse. And from the sentence, they found the 22 letters of the Phoenician alphabet. And from the Phoenician alphabet born the Greek alphabet, and from the Greek alphabet born the Latin alphabet, and it is the first phonetic alphabet. You are obliged to write it from the right to the left. From the right to the left, so they called Byblos mother of the alphabet, and it was from the 13th century BC. That's right.
Yes.
So anything you see on the pictures, it was found in Byblos and it's in Beirut on the museum. You can see here a treasure. If you look what civilization is. Yalla. Tell me what civilization?
It's Egypt.
Egyptian, yes. Because sir, at the time everything it was made in Egypt.
Yeah.
Today everything is made in
China.
China. Very good. And here you can see also some Egyptian style, Egyptian, this is hygiene or Hygeia, the goddess of health. And here you have a beautiful mosaic representing the kidnapping of Europe by Zeus. You see, it's a very beautiful mosaic. You can see it in Beirut also on the museum. Please, I insist, go and see the museum in Beirut. It's near the French embassy.
Okay.
It's very, very, very important to have an idea about that. You will have all the history of Lebanon. Let's go down now to see the Roman theater and the Phoenician royal necropolis, please. Yes.
Yeah, okay, Habibi, okay.
specific ticket is for.
ايه
هي انا راح اتاكد بس مبين على هذه 145 يعني في 6 صور